Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel again. So today what we have is a customer concern of differential fluid leaking out of the rear, and this is going to be one of those simple things. In fact, kind of debated whether or not I was going to do a video on it, but I'm going to show you guys everything that's, whether it's mundane or not, whether it's pretty extensive, whatever the case is. We'll just try and get some content out there to try and satisfy everybody and their curiosities, and also put my 10 cents in, because of course I'm a mechanic and this is how I get paid. But on this one, customer thought that it was coming out of the little rubber drain plug or the fill plug on his differential. This is a Ram 1500. It's a 2009, so it still has the rubber fill plug in there, but rarely do you see those things leak. So anyway, I'm gonna flip it around and show you what I found, and then also show you or explain to you the proper way to fix this. All right, so here is the rear differential that we're talking about. Now, some of you might be able to see it already. Why was this thing leaking? You can see where they had good adherence of the silicone on top and the sides. I have not cleaned this yet. That means that the last person, whoever it was, however long ago it was, that had that cover off, did not make sure that the surfaces were clean, including the gear lube. Meaning you got to get in there and pull some of that out so that you can clean the surface and get the cover on. Which also brings up another question. I do not like to spray brake clean inside of this differential to clean all of the surfaces, unless it was severely contaminated with water or mud or something else. I don't like to wash all of that off, because that can create lubricity problems moving forward, especially for the first drive cycle, until that oil gets splashed up around and everything else. I don't want all of those bearings in there, because you have your bearings on this side, you have bearings on that side, but inside these spiders you have thrust bearings all the way around. So I don't want to wash the lube off of those for the first run. All right, so I've already cleaned the pan. I'm going to go through and use a nice quality brake clean to get all oil residue off before I apply silicone. I'll clean this all off, get it perfectly clean, make sure that you get all of the silicone out of the threads, because if you have a big old chunk of it left in any of those, like this one right here, and then you go to screw that bolt back in there, you can either stop short of getting it tight, or on some applications you can break the housing. Probably not going to break this housing. You might strip out the threads though. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up and then show you that. Put the cover back on, show you that, fill it with fluid, take it for a test drive. So there's everything cleaned off, and we have the new silicone on here. Now don't get all upset because it's gray. This is actually a Permatex gear oil gasket maker. And that kind of brings up something that some people have asked me. Does it really matter? Silicone's silicone, right? No, not at all. In fact, there's some silicones that if you mix them with gear oil, will actually have a reaction with the gear oil and start generating a lot of heat, so much so that it smokes. So you have to make sure that you're using the correct silicone, gasket maker, whatever you want to call it, for the application you're using it for. Whether it's transmission pans, engine components, timing housings, whatever, differential covers, you have to use the correct stuff. So it's very important, especially if you want adherence. There's the other thing. So you got some silicones that don't need oxygen to cure, and some silicones that do need oxygen to cure. I'm not going to get into the scientific names of that stuff, but that's what it is. So make sure you're using the stuff for the correct application. And there she is. She's filled, completed. Notice there's not a big, huge amount of silicone all goobered out all over the place. This is next to as perfect as you can get on a cover. Yeah, I love it. Anyway, this is the correct way to do it. I have a feeling that somebody else had at some point went in there and tried to do a repair, but they failed epically. Anyway, as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, for chiming in. I love the comments, good or bad. Hit that like, comment, share, talk to your friends, whatever you got to do. But I want to thank you all for bringing this to what it is today. So, as always, if you have any ideas for some content, throw it out there and I'll do what I can to get it to you. Thanks and have a good one.